kyayogeddeko ekyebyokwerinda. Eggwanga olwaleero we twogerera liri mu katyabaga. Ebibuuzo bingi ebiri ku mitima gy'Abannayuganda. Obusungu mu Bannayuganda bungi, ate ku mitendera gyonna. Abali mu buyinza balina obusungu bungi ku bakulembera, kati ate n'abakulemberwa balina obusungu bungi ku bakulembera. Enjuyi zombi nkoowu. Kiki twetaaga olwaleero? Twetaaga okuteekawo embeera ey'okuwuliziganya nga Bannayuganda wakati w'abakulembera n'abakulemberwa. Ebibi bingi ebigenda mu maaso naye nga byonna bisobola okuziyizibwa oba okukomezebwa. Ekyetaagisa kuteekawo mpuliziganya ennungi. Obusungu bwe tukozesa nga tutta Bannayuganda bannaffe bususse, era nga need tulowooza nti okutta bannaffe si ky'ekyokuddamu ekigenda okuleeta emirembe, wabula kigenda kwongera kwewanisa mitima, kigenda kwongera kusiga bukyayi. Buli bamu batandika okutunuulira bannaabwe mu kubeekengera, era ekijja okuva mu ekyo kiyinza obutaba kirungi. Emyaka 5 bwe tubala okudda emabega, bwe tuba tugenze tutakula bulungi ripooti, abantu abagenda mu 100 battiddwa. Tujjukira abattibwa bali mu 6 mu 18 Septemba 2020. Ne batugamba nti abantu nga 22 baafira bwemage okusa ku ripooti President nga ayogera. Obusungu bwaki abalina okutuwa ebyokwerinda bwe bakozesa ku Bannayuganda? Kyenkana mu bugenderevu. Twogedde emirundi mingi abantu bangi bakalakala n'emmundu nga bali mu ngoye eza bulijjo. Ne tubuuza bakolera ani? Toyinza kwawula mukyamu na mutuufu. Kati okuva ebyo byatandika okubeerawo, ettemulize libeerawo nga lingi, kubanga n'ebitongole by'okwerinda abamu tebeemanyi. Abeeno tebamanyi beeno, n'abeeri tebamanyi beeri. Anakukola ekikyamu nazze mu butuufu tobaawula. Kati olulumba oluliwo luzze ku bannamawulire. Emabega awo twalina muganda waffe wa UBC Baye Kagolo yafa mu ngeri efaanana bw'etyo. Nakati tetumanyi bulungi byatambula. N'abalala bangi mubamanyi. Juzi omu yafudde Kabenje. Nakaaleka abamu nga bagamba naye kale kaabadde Kabenje. Yii! We twogerera ekimu kubadde bisinga okutawaanya abakulembera ye social media. Nayo bagikozeeko direct attack. Batandikidde ku chairman w'aba bloggers ne bamuzikiza. Ekibuuzo, obusungu bwaki obwolesebwa? Gavumenti obuvunaanyizibwa bwayo kwe kwoleka baani abakola ebikolobero ebyo. Bw'eba tesobola kubyoleka tugikiteekako nti babikola mu bugenderevu. Gavumenti esobola okukyejjako ng'ennyonnyodde baani abazze batta Bannayuganda. Omuli n'abakungu mu gavumenti Gen. Katumba Wamala bamukolako obulumbaganyi, n'abalala bangi abazze battibwa, ripooti ne zisirikibwa. Twagala olwaleero gavumenti eveeyo ekyejjeko nti si eri emabega waakyo ng'etubuulira baani ababikola. Kubanga buli kye basabye Bannayuganda mukibawadde. Kamera mwazibawa, amasimu mwagakkiriza ne bagongera ku 2 nti bagenda kajja bayamba okuwuliriza amasimu gammwe. Bingi ebikoleddwa, mugawandiisizza. Obulumbagagi bukyagenda mu maaso. Jjajja Ichuli yattiddwa, abadde yayogerako nti afuna okutiisibwatiisibwa naye era tewali kyakolebwawo. Ate bangi abazze battibwa era basooka kugamba nti bankubira amasimu naye tetufunangako bakwatiddwa mu kukuba amasimu ago. Ekiseera kye kino gavumenti ennyonnyole byonna byesebe bannayuganda tubikoze. Baani abatta bannayuganda bwe banga gavumenti si yebatta? Ekyokubiri, abakola ebikolobero ebyo twagala kubasaba kuba ffe tetunnabamanya bakkakkanye obusungu, tuteekewo okuwuliziganya n'abo be tulowooza nti batusobezza eggwanga lisobole okutambula obulungi. Naye n'abakola ebikolwa eby'effujjo mu bugenderevu nga bakalakala n'emmundu ate nga tebagambwako, bongera okulinnyisa obusungu bw'abannayuganda. Ekiyinza okuvaamu oba oli awo era embeera ey'ekittabantu. Ebyo nabyo twagala bikome bunnambiro. Eggwanga lidde mu mikono emituufu, kuba kati we twogerera eggwanga liri mikono gy'abayaaye, gy'abatugumbuzi. Akuwooninga era n'akikola ate n'atakwatibwa, kubanga n'abazze balaga nti bakwatiddwa babatanga tewali bujulizi oluvannyuma lw'okukakanya pressure. Nitulaba nga babatadde. So nga need twagala gavumenti, twagala ebitongole ebikuumaddembe biveeyo biwe position yaabyo ku kigenda mu maaso nga bitulaga abakola ebintu ebyo, nga bawa accountability ku kuwandiisa amasimu ge twakola, nga bawa accountability ku kamera ze twabawa, nga bawa accountability ku kye baagamba nti amasimu gaffe bagawuliriza, batubuulire biki bafunyeewo. Mwebale nnyo. Naye mpozi ekisembayo, njagala okubiriza bonna abalina omuzindaalo, bannamawulire, ba bloggers, nti eggwanga lino lyaffe tetugenda kusirika, kubanga ensi weetuuse bwe wanaabanga twali ayogera ate kigenda kuba kirala. Bwe kiba nga basobola okukola ebikolobero ebyo nga ate waliwo abagambako naye ate olufenna bwe tunaasirika ki ekinaabaawo. Njagala basaba temutya, tusigale nga tutwala obuvunaanyizibwa bwaffe, twoleke ebikyamu ate bwe tubagambako kuba nti basobola okutereeza. Mwebale nnyo.
Much appreciated, National Spokesperson Salongo Matov Moses. The country is under siege by Kayolis and vouchers. Bwatyo bwagayo mu Luganda. Tufune ku bibuuzo oba tusooke tugende mu Luzungu. Okay, tusooke tugende mu Luzungu. Secretary General.
Okay, thank you very much. The English version will not be as long as the Luganda was, but we want to thank you for coming. I know it is it's a dark day. Many of you are scared. I know, basing on what is happening in the country. Today we want to talk about issues of security. Unfortunately, there is confusion amongst many people on the concept of security. When people are talking about security, they think it is one huge thing. There is what we call state security and personal security. This government mastered the art of state security. That's why when a few people post on social media that on 8th there will be a demonstration, you see gunships all over Kampala. Like one has just passed over us. That is because they are securing themselves, they are securing the state, they are securing the regime. Now, unfortunately, they have focused that side and ignored the security and safety of Ugandan, of an ordinary Ugandan. Sometimes even at the cost of themselves individually falling victims. Now, what we are dealing with today is just that their focus is elsewhere. That's why they will put an entire command called SFC, just to secure the head of the regime and a few critical pillars that hold that regime. Now, then they leave you alone. You'll get another DC, he has a gun, he's being secured by about 5 soldiers, but an ordinary Uganda is not. But you see, personal security, or general security, cannot be divorced from the welfare of the man carrying the gun. The welfare of the man carrying the gun has an issue, has a direct correlation with his mental steadiness, because where does he sleep? Where are his children? Are they in school or not? When his wife or his children or himself is sick, where does he go? I was just giving an example that my village where I grew up from was near barracks. I tell you, that barracks had Rubong specifically. It had Rubong Army Primary School, Rubong Army Secondary School, Rubong Army Hospital. It even had Rubong Technical Institute. Now, that we would go there, soldiers were the ones who were teaching, but schools students and children of soldiers. And the soldier would therefore know that even when I am earning a little, but school of my education of my children is catered for. Health is catered for. Food is catered for. And my salary is coming on time. Housing is okay. But now, Rubong barracks that used to be very, very beautiful, I'm giving it as an example, very beautiful housing, is now where children from our villages are grazing. It is now a bush. Schools completely down. It is a hospital that is still struggling only because the district health department has taken it over. That is the only thing. Now, that is the picture all over the country. So you cannot pretend to love the soldiers, talk about the soldiers, do about the soldiers when you don't care about their welfare. So their welfare will determine how they behave and how they use the gun. That's one. Number two, regards the management, and this as need we are demanding that if we want that Ugandans, all Ugandans should participate in the struggle towards the ownership of that institution called the Uganda People's Defense Forces. And to own it begins with how it is, first of all, the legal. The question is, all institutions in Uganda, respective laws that manage them, say the leadership of those institutions are picked by the president, then the parliament approves. How come UPDF is the only unique one? What is Museveni's interest in only UPDF and nothing else? So why does he manage UPDF as if it is a private militia? What is then the difference between UPDF and Rapid Response Forces of Sudan? What is he preparing for the country? Isn't he walking the country to that dangerous road of Sudan now? So if we want the army, we want personal security, we should also involve ourselves in demanding for ownership of that institution. By the way, as of now, we have no national army. We have a militia of a militia leader called Museveni. It is legal. That is the legal, the prevailing legal circumstances we unfortunately find ourselves. They are putting on Uganda flag. Thank you very much. But in terms of law, we have no army. In terms of management, we have no army. That's why when you talk about it, he will tell you, you talk about anything, you talk about the army, you go 6 feet. That 6 feet is for everybody. It is by the biggest equalizer. It is Mr. Matovu here who loves telling me about Isima. Isima said, for him is a Mutabliki, and he knows there are only 2 places for Batabliki. Batabliki are either in Luzira or the grave. That was Isim. Unfortunately, we now know his address. So, the management of the Uganda People's Defense Forces should be a concern of all of us. So we are demanding, as need, that Parliament gets interested in that. Because that is a bad, rough trajectory we are walking on if we continue the way we are walking. The other thing is about, of course, the guns, the what, and so on and so forth. You see, when we talk about that particular thing of the minister, the welfare of the worker, let me tell you, those soldiers go to markets we all go to, and we are complaining about exorbitance of prices. They go to same hospitals, they go to same everything. So we cannot begin thinking for them they are superhuman or subhuman when they put on uniform. We have an issue of our brothers who are who they take to fight in Somalia, for example. Those boys and girls, because they are our brothers and sisters, are coming back. But many of them have, the most recent one who came back in December, for an entire year have not been paid. Yet according to EU, they remit money for an entire, almost 5 years. So they give government money, government refuses to give these guys. They come back with all the frustration, and yet you're giving them the guns. They are the ones you want them to open for you and salute you. And they are seeing you eating your machepere, you're eating your pizza, you're eating your burger, you're eating all your poison there. But for them, you're telling them to go to Mama Machi to buy a cup of black tea. As for you, you're taking cappuccino. What do you want them to do? So we want to demand as need that let the issue of salaries of soldiers, especially those who go to serve this country in, say, in other countries like Somalia and so on, be not treated as if it is just a family and a personal issue. They must be paid and be paid properly. By the way, I was talking about that and somewhere, and a certain police officer was telling me that, do you know, right as of now, a police officer at the same rank with a soldier who are at the same rank, a police officer gets as low 4 times lower than a UPDF officer. A soldier and a you think about it, a soldier and a police officer. A police officer gets 4 times lower than a soldier, and the police officers and prison are in the same boat. Yet you're getting soldiers populating them, the police, to manage the police. So are you telling soldiers to go and give police security, or you're taking soldiers to sit on police and prison? So I think there is something fundamentally wrong in this country. And unfortunately, the mentality that is seem to want to succeed. The aging mentality seems to be a worse mentality than the other. So, as a need, we want to tell Ugandans that what is now prevailing seems to be a campaign. And by that I get surprised that when you look through social media and everything and everybody talk, it looks like Ugandans know who the people who are killing them. Everybody seems to be knowing who is killing who. There is this one who makes a lot of noise, also called Bajo. Is it Bajo? I don't pay attention to them, but he's also mentioning somebody who wants to kill him. The exact way Sima said, the exact way Kirumira said, the exact way Kawesi complained, the exact way everybody who has been killed. So, I think those are our statements and our demands as needed. Thank you very much. We could take questions.
National Economic Empowerment Dialogue under the wise leadership of the 10th President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency President Joseph Kiza Kabuleta. Can we go into questions now, either in Luganda or English, both addressed to the Secretary General and the National Spokesperson? Questions? Even Swahili? Okay, even Swahili. Questions? Okay.
Thank you so much. My name is Solomon Lubambula. I work with Power FM. You talked about management of UPDF, but for clarity, I wanted to know whether you're calling for repeal of the UPDF Act or just an amendment, and which sections exactly are you looking at? Then on the personal security, I remember at some time you told us about your vice president who was attacked, and for the benefit of all of you, how safe are you guys? Are you safe? Do you feel intimidated? Someone mentioned that us in the media we shouldn't be. How about you guys?
Thank you, sir. Okay, I'm Erin Semandasharum from Dream TV. So today we're talking about insecurity, but recently the Constitutional Court regularized marijuana. So I would like to know about you say about that. Yes, because it legalizing marijuana can increase insecurity in the country. Yes, so I would like to know you say about that.
Thank you. Weed. Be very specific on your position on weed.
Thank you very much. Ekyanjira kubeera mu Luganda. Omwogezi w'ekibiina kya NIDI ensonga gy'akoonyeeko ng'agamba nti ebitongole ebikuumaddembe birina okuvaayo. Bwe bataddeko akazito baveeyo balage abantu abo bakwate bannayuganda bamanye. Naye ebiseera ebisinga bangi bakwatiddwa nga mwennyini n'abannayuganda abalasa abantu babalage ne bakwata abantu aba innocent. Recent ndowooza mwezi oguwedde waliwo omusajja omu kooti yamutandooza amaze emyaka nga5 munda lwa nsonga za kirumira ng'obujulizi bubuze. Olowooza munaabasaka kasito bwe kati tebayongere kukwata bukwasi bantu babasanyuse nti tulina be tukutteyo abatta ate nga yebakutte si be batuufu.
Tweyanze ndowooza tutandike n'ekya weedi ekyo kyo kisooke kive mu kkubo.
Chemanyi court did not legalize marijuana. Court only struck and questioned the procedures that was taken during the passing of the law. It was on technicality. It wasn't on merit. So there was nothing. You would be misleading to tell anybody that it was legalized. You can only constitute the legalization on the absence of the law. You get it, sir? So don't tell anybody court legalized it. It did not. It quashed the law on technicality and specifically on the process that was used for passing, because they say Parliament did not have quorum. That was all. I have not gone into the detail of the judgment, but that was all. So don't misguide anybody to go and begin smoking that thing that it is now legal, because it is not. So that's the comment, although I didn't want to indulge in that. The issue of management of UPDF. I am not going to go section by section, but I will tell you the entire UPDF Act is being misused, being implemented in its entirety. And it is exactly what is giving basis for mismanagement of force. This is a force that you cannot institute a proper inquiry on many, including its accountability resources. And yet it is the institution where we put a lot of our resources. But you cannot do, because once you question ABCD, you go into classified issues, security issues. So we want to ask Parliament to go into entire review of the entire UPDF Act, beginning with, including the issue of appointment of office bearers there. Because we can't have a president, we can't have an institution as important as UPDF whose appointment of who is in office depends on the mood of the president. That today he got scared of bodyguards shooting their masters, and the chief of personnel has to be changed. And nobody knows how the change of chief of personnel, change of CDF has happened. Now, we can't have a force whose management is on the moods of who danced properly for the president. That force is too important to be managed by only Mr. Museveni. If he allowed the police, if he allowed the Ugandans to participate into the institution of leadership of police, prison, why doesn't he also allow UPDF to do the same? Because after all, it is called UPDF anyway. Is it UPDF or NRA? Because how many of those have, do you know that army numbers are still given as RA, RO? So is that a national force that is supposed to give all of us security, or it is a regime militia? So that we also tell Ugandans, we tell our brothers to stop giving service until we get a force that is for every Ugandan. A force that somebody goes with it to Congo. I hope that was, I saw Honorable Omona making a comment on that, a very, very unfortunate video, that some soldiers were, commanding officer collected some soldiers and are telling them, please, if you want to enjoy this country, for us, we know only MK. And Omona was a little sober when he made his own tweet against that kind of behavior. The entire, there was the Frank Gashumbas and David Kabandas rained on the man and abusing the man the way. So we think that there is fundamental problem in the management of UPDF. So we want that be done. My brother of power, we are not intimidated, sir. If we were intimidated, we wouldn't be talking. You know, let me tell you. He said that when you talk, one of the things, you remember when Besigye talked about army, you know what they promised Besigye? That was 2001. 6 feet down. That's what they promised Besigye. So, aware of all that, If we were intimidated, we wouldn't be talking about security matters today. So we are not intimidated. We are going to talk about things. Because security, we are talking about investors. We are talking about economy. You can't have an economy if you don't handle your security properly. How will you have money in the pocket when you have no security? So security is at the center of these things. So anybody who wants to manage, including the economy of Uganda, must pay attention to security and the management of personnel. So we are not intimidated, sir. And we ask you not to get intimidated too.
Thank you very much, Secretary General. Ekibuuzo kya widi ekyo kyawedde dda. Okay.
Kakati gavumenti yajja n'esaba bannayuganda tukkirize bawulirize amasimu gaffe, ne tukikkiriza. Ne batusaba tuwandiise amasimu gaffe, ne tukikkiriza. Ne bagamba mutukkirize mutuwe ne ssente tubeetegereze bulungi nga tutaddeko kamera, nakyo ne tukikkiriza. Bwe tuba tulina enkola ezo ssatu, lwaki olwayo twandibadde tukwata abantu abatalina musango? Awo tusinziira ne tugamba nti gavumenti eveeyo ng'eyita mu bitongole byayo eby'ebyokwerinda ennyonnyole ekivaako ettemu era etulage. Tusinziira ku ebyo ebintu bisatu nti balina obusobozi okuwuliriza amasimu gaffe. Ate bangi basse babadde bagamba nti bankubira essimu bantiisa era ne battibwa. Bangi be basse abamu babakidnappinga n'oteekako ne ku makubo ne bakwatira nga waliwo kamera. Bangi be basse amasimu gaabwe gawandiisibwa. Kakati lwaki gavumenti tekozesa ebyo netuwa abantu abatuufu? Bwe tutusaba accountability tetutegeeza kumala gayoola bantu, kubanga batusaba balowooza nti bijjo bayamba ne tubibawa. Twagala beesigame ku ebyo batuwa abantu abatuufu, si kutuwa biwaani ebyabatemu. Twagala abatemu bennyini. Tujjukire mabega eri batuwako n'obufaananyi ne babupaintinga awo ne babutimbatimba. Twagala ebyaddala kubanga kamera bazigula, newankubadde sente zaabwe bw'ogula kamera ez'ebyokwerinda oba enkesi, ate bagulanga ezammwe zino video cameras, tebagula kamera nkesi. Kyova olaba bazikwata ebifaananyi ebitasobola kusomeka. Kati bagenze mu palamenti baagala babawe sente endala bagule kamera mbu ezisobola okulaba. Ekibuuzo, bagenda okugula ziri nga ate babyakwerinda baali tebamanyi. So tusaba accountability based on facts, based on what they requested for, and we allowed them. Sebo neyanza.
Hello, yeah.
Kato Farouk Top TV. Bannabyabufuzi bangi tuzze tubalaba nga bavaayo basaba accountability nga mwe muvuddeyo olunaku olwaleero. Naye accountability nga teweebwa. Mwe singa bye musabye tebikolebwako muzzaako ki?
Njagala kukiddamu ng'okyali waggulu. Buli omu ali wano, buli munnayuganda gy'ali ateeke ku babaka ba palamenti akazito obutayisa budget ya bya security until when accountability is given. Palamenti olwaleero mwe muyimiddeko ku lw'abannayuganda temubawa ssente zigenda gula kamera ndala, temubawa ssente zigenda kukola birala nga tebamaze kutulaga bye baatusaba. Bayisa biiru okuwuliriza amasimu gaffe kyayita mu palamenti ne tukibawa. Ne basaba ssente za kamera zayita mu palamenti ne tuzibawa. Bayisa biiru okuwandiisa bannayuganda bonna n'amasimu ne tukibawa mu palamenti. Olwaleero palamenti gye twatuteekako akazito nga nidi abatudde wano tetugenda genda kugwa muntu mbulago naye tuwaga tuyite mu nkola entuufu. It's your parliament now to exert pressure on the security organs to give accountability of the registration of our SIM cards, to give accountability of tapping of our conversations, to give accountability of the cameras. Thank you.
Without contradictions or confusions, here's the key takeaway from Secretary General. The UPDF is too important to be left to the UPDF leadership alone. Good. Let that sink in. National spokesperson, temugezako ne mwa abasajja abo sente parliament. Ekyabakakasizza temugezako. Tweyanzege mwebale nnyo mwebali eddala.
Olukwe.
Mwebale nnyo mwebali eddala kujjanga ne tubeera ffenna buli kaseera ku nkuŋŋaana zaffe ez'abannamawulire zaabulirwa Mande. Mpozi ekibiina kino kikulemberwa omukulembeze omulungi ennyo, omukulembeze President wa Uganda omulundi ogw'ekkumi, President Joseph Kiza Kabuleta omulundi ogw'ekkumi. Abatumidde nnyo mwebale nnyo mwebale okujja n'olala mukole nga bwe mutyo. Olukumana lwaffe olw'obulalu bwetu bugenze, tubaagala nnyo.